The collection. Ah! And it's growing. Oh my gosh. I just got this art from Kazoo, one of my local friends here. Oh my gosh. It's freaking cute. Ah! I'm sick. Hi everybody. How's it going? I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize if the audio is a little goofy. I'm not feeling super great right now. I tried to go to work yesterday. That did not work out at all. So I pretty much spent the day lying in bed and drinking a whole bunch of vitamin C. But yeah, me being sick out of the way, I just kind of wanted to go into a little bit of a topic. It's been kind of creeping its way ever since it's been getting darker earlier. I mean, unless you happen to live in a part of the world where this doesn't happen to you, I don't know, straight up on the equator or whatever, or Antarctica. If you're one of those Arctic furries, don't worry about this. But if you live anywhere else in the world, chances are you're probably noticing that it gets a little darker earlier. Yeah, it kind of sucks, man. So I wanted to kind of cover not really a furry related topic, because I kind of missed out on Midwest Fur Fest. We're kind of saving up. A whole bunch of real life stuff kind of crept up. So I was smart. I was doing the right financial thing, and I did not go to Midwest Fur Fest. But yeah, I kind of wanted to just kind of blab on about this little wonderful thing known as seasonal affective disorder, or SAD for short, which is kind of funny because that's how you end up feeling. You may or may not experience this. It's pretty common, but when it starts to get darker earlier, you kind of feel like your energy is getting sapped from you. And it's like a form of depression, because depression comes in many shapes and forms, right? This particular version of it really only happens when it's cold and nasty outside. Coincidentally, it kind of is right now. I woke up and it was dark, and then I went to work and I got home and it's dark, and I'm driving back and this topic just kind of came into my brain hey, let's cover that for the video. Whenever it gets to this point where it's dark all the time, your mood can definitely be influenced by factors such as how much sunlight you're getting and the amount of activity you're doing. So if you're like me and you end up bundling up, it might be cozy at first, but it can kind of weigh on you. One of the symptoms of this is you just have a persistent low mood throughout this time frame. You kind of find yourself frequently meh. Whenever you don't have anything festive going on, then, it's not really anything super out of the ordinary. It's just a symptom of seasonal affective disorder. And this one kind of goes a little bit with regular depression, but if you happen to have a loss of interest in activities or things you normally find yourself interested in doing, you might very well have seasonal affective disorder. So I would definitely kind of keep an eye on things that bring you joy, write them down, get a good list of things that you enjoy doing. And if you find out that you haven't been doing them as often, you might have it. And coincidentally, work aside, being busy all the freaking time, I found out that making videos is something I love doing. But ever since it started getting dark outside, I've been man, I could be making a video, or I could be all bundled up and kind of stuck in my head, so to speak. Another thing is kind of having low energy or fatigue. If you find yourself just being really, I don't know, it takes a whole bunch of effort and energy to kind of get up and do what you do, that could very well be a symptom of this. And I feel like, having been this far in the video, right, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, or psychiatrist, right? What I'm saying right now, please do not take it as gospel, right? I'm just kind of going over a little bit of a phenomenon I saw. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I should have done that earlier. It's the seasonal affective disorder right now. It's creeping up on me, man. Another one is kind of increased appetite or weight gain. If you notice any changes in how much you're eating during this time frame, I mean, obviously, right? It's the holidays. People are making sugar cookies and all sorts of treats and stuff. That freaking Thanksgiving, if you happen to live in the US, it's just constant eating. But if you happen to notice that you're eating more than normal to kind of fill a void, that could definitely be a symptom of it. Now that I think about it, I've been eating a crap ton. I've been eating so much food. It kind of makes sense. It's almost like I'm in hibernation mode, right? It's the winter. It's the cozy season. So I end up snacking a lot more than I normally would. And I kind of chalked it up to it just being that time of the year, but I could definitely see it kind of maybe be spiraling into something a bit more serious, right? And I feel kind of by making this video and saying this stuff out loud, like it kind of keeps me in check. And another one is social withdrawal, or kind of like hibernating from your social scenes. And this kind of, I didn't really quite notice it was happening until a bit further on in the season, but I don't know. I felt like I was kind of talking to people less than I used to. And it was a combination of like not having a whole bunch of sunlight, a whole bunch of work, and not really going to any cons. So it kind of made this perfect storm of me feeling like, I don't know, like a clam that kind of withdrew inside of its shell. I mean, I'm normally a pretty easy, happy-go-lucky guy, but it kind of felt like as time went on, I just was talking to people less and less. And yeah, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, hey, that could have very well been a symptom of seasonal affective disorder. So for many people, the symptoms for this kind of start in late fall to winter. So, I mean, we're kind of in the peak season of it right now. I don't even know if it's winter yet, but we're kind of getting up there, Now that we've kind of gone over like what seasonal affective disorder is, let's kind of go a little bit into like how it happens. Like, why do you get this? And one of the big things is that your internal biological clock ends up getting kind of thrown out of whack just due to the sunlight changes. We kind of go on autopilot, and nature has a very good way of kind of keeping things in check. But when the amount of sun that you get during the day, like your internal clock of waking up, I think it's like the circadian rhythm, I'm getting all scientific now, is disrupted, like these symptoms can kind of show themselves. So like when the daylight decreases, your internal clock kind of drifts out of sync, and you might feel tired during the day. So if you kind of catch yourself getting a bit sleepier than normal, it might very well be this. Your sleep schedule can also get thrown off, and your mood regulation might become harder. So like you might be more irritable, and things that might not normally set you off might make you like extra angry. Another reason is your serotonin levels drop. So serotonin is like a neurotransmitter, which is pretty much just a fancy way of saying like it's just something that exists in your brain. It's a chemical, right? It makes you feel good. So this stabilizes it. Now, whenever you have less serotonin, it's linked to depression, some low motivation, and craving carbs and sugar, because your body's like trying to boost your serotonin artificially, and eating food is kind of like a shortcut to like boosting those serotonin levels. Also, melatonin can also be increased as well, which is kind of linked to sleeping, being sleepy. If you've ever taken those melatonin gummies for like trouble sleeping, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But your body produces it naturally based on like the time of the day. So whenever the sunlight starts to go down, your melatonin levels start to increase. And when that happens, you get a bit sleepier. It all kind of adds up to this. So sunlight also produces vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is very important because vitamin D, well, more specifically, when you have less levels of vitamin D, it can be linked to being lethargic or kind of lazy, low mood, and increased risks of depression. So all these things kind of add up into the perfect storm of what can happen to you during the holiday season. Some of the ways that you can actually kind of prevent this from hitting you, right? One of the things that I do is go for walks during the day to kind of get me out of that rut. The only time I have sunlight is during the day, and I'm working all the time. So I've been giving myself like times to actually get out of my seat, walk around and look at like what's going on outside, get a bit of that sunshine and some of that breeze. And, just to kind of like remind my brain, right? I have to kind of train it again that this isn't forever. This is just the gloomy time of the year. So definitely kind of get up, get some fresh air. That's a good way to reset yourself. Get some sunlight. Touch grass, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Another thing, too, to help out is to kind of check in with other friends. You don't, have to, walk up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm really sad right now, right? If that's the way you want to go about doing it, sure. But just hang out with friends more, whether you're chatting with them on the internet or doing, a video call. Or better yet, actually hanging out with people in person. It's a good way to kind of keep yourself in tune, and they might be able to notice some of these symptoms too. And they might even have some coping methods too. So definitely hit up friends. We're humans. Despite us dressing up like animals, we kind of need that social safety net. Check in with each other. Together, we kind of lift each other up. And another thing is to get some exercise. So push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, whatever you got to do. Get that blood flowing, right? Because if you don't get enough exercise, your mood is going to pretty much tank And getting the blood pumping, getting the adrenaline going, it's good. It produces serotonin. It makes your brain happy. And when your brain's happy, you're happy. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much a seasonal affective disorder in a nutshell. It's a little different than some other videos I've done. I kind of used to do this back in like 2019 when I was in Turkey. I was going through a bit of a rough time, and my coping method was to make videos about what I was feeling, and hopefully by sharing it, it's almost like internet therapy. You know, me using this webcam is kind of like a way for me to, you know, kind of convey how I feel. Maybe somebody else out there is kind of going through the same thing too. And together, you know, we kind of help each other through these things. But yeah, you know, I kind of figured it'd be a bit of a change of pace from my typical furry videos. This is a furry video only in the fact that I'm wearing this goober on my head. But yeah, you know, I hope y'all have a great rest of your holiday season. You know, check in on each other. If you like this content, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button for some notifications. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Seasonal affective disorder. It's a thing.
Oh my goodness, I'd like to give a huge thank you to the following Gold Egg patrons: Ashira Pony, Funtime Wolf, Cinder Kitten, Apollo Bunny, Dynamo, DH, Emerith Cantonine, Eoric Bernison, and Moodle. And a huge thank you to all my other patrons and supporters as well. If you'd like to consider becoming a patron, check me out on the link above. Oh my goodness, thank you.